today's episode of Optavia 5&1 101, we're going to look at your first week on plan. Welcome to my channel. My name is Lizabeth. I am an independent Optavia coach, and I have lost 116 pounds so far using Optavia's 5&1 program. As I have been making YouTube videos and participating a lot in social media, I keep hearing over and over again that people are just really struggling knowing what to do, how to do their first week. They feel a little uncomfortable. They may be getting great information from their coach, but they just need a little bit more reassurance. So I'm doing this 5&1 101 series to just kind of break down the elements. It gives you a place to go and watch, rewatch, share with your clients or your friends who are on the program who just need to just get a little review or have a way of accessing information without constantly calling or texting your coach all the time. But if you're looking for a place just for some information, this would be a great place to find it. Now, before we discuss all of the elements of your first week, would you just give this video a thumbs up? It really does help me. It helps my channel, and it also lets my video show up on your YouTube feed when you like my video. So I would love it if you would do that. If you haven't subscribed, please hit that subscribe button. So in our first part, we talked about getting started, and hopefully you have been able to find a great coach. You have signed up, you've gone through that health assessment, determined what program is the best program, the best fit for you, and you've ordered your box, and your box has arrived. And that is such an exciting day. And truly, even every month for me, when I order and I get my fuelings, it's really exciting. Even though I know what's in the box, it's always fun to unpack the box and see exactly what is in there. But in that Premier box, it doesn't, if you don't order Premier, you're not gonna get all the little goodies, the little extras. Now you will get the fuelings in your box, but if you order Premier, you will also get a shaker bottle. So this comes in your box. You will also get an Optavia guide. It is going to look like this on the cover. It's a little spiral bound guide. So let's start by talking about the Optavia guide. It's a 50, 60 page little booklet. This is going to be so helpful to you all throughout your journey, but there are a lot of important things in here. I would encourage you, first of all, just read through the first several pages. In the new guide on pages 8 and 9, there are some great daily support and top tips. First of all, always make sure that you check with your medical provider, especially if you are on any type of prescription medication, whether it is for diabetes or blood pressure or something else where you need to be on medication. Do make sure that your doctor is aware of the program that you're doing. And even if you're not on medication, it's always a good idea to just make sure that your doctor is aware. Optavia does have some information that you can provide to your medical professional if they're not aware of Optavia itself. I would say that most doctors are aware of the program because it used to actually be one when it was Medifast. It was actually prescribed by doctors. So a lot of doctors are aware of the program, but we do offer that information that you can provide to your medical professional. Of course, you want to talk to your coach. That's really important that you keep in touch with your coach for the first week, especially. You will probably talk to your coach every day. After that, you might just talk to them once a week. Sometimes clients cut back to once a month after the first few months. Personally, I talk to my coach every week still. And we have lovely talks, and she has clients who she doesn't talk to every week. I have a client I don't talk to every week, but I still check in. She checks in with me occasionally. It really depends on what you need as a client. But I would say for the first week, you are definitely going to want to talk to your coach every day. And then I would recommend checking in every week with your coach just to make sure that you are staying accountable. Using the Life book, I've talked about this in the last one, the Life book and Habits of Health. They are very thick and big books, but they are extremely valuable. If you want this program to be a lifelong, you take your weight off and you don't gain the weight back, if you want to do that, you cannot treat Optavia as a diet. If you treat it as a diet, you will go right back to your old habits when you're done. If you don't want to do that, go through the life book. I was a little resistant to it for a really long time, but the more I have gotten into this program, the more value I see in the need for transforming my mind, for changing my attitude towards food, so that I will be making these changes permanently and not going back to where I was before. Another thing that you can do is to set up daily text messages, motivational. You don't have to do this, not required at all, but you can text Optavia to 46257, which is goals, and you will get daily tips, inspiration, healthy reminders, and much more. You get maybe a text a day, so you can do that if you want to. Get involved in Optavia community, and that means follow people on Instagram, subscribe to YouTube channels, join Facebook groups. Your coach should be part of a coach Facebook organization. That would be like a private Facebook group that is just for coaches and clients in that particular coaching line. And so you should get an invitation to join that particular group. And you can also join, there's lots of other both public and private Facebook groups out there. There are two in the description box that I am the administrator of. One that is called Living in the Light. The other one is called Optavia Newbies. Some other groups that I belong to that are great, My Optavia Recipes is a great one. Optavia Uncut is another great one that I participate in. It is very much a give and take, and one of the best things about Optavia is the level of community support, the number of people who are out there who want to encourage you and support you in your journey. Your coach will also set up your access to the Optavia website. So they will give you your username and password. You will be able to log into your page basically on the website, which will allow you to change your orders. So make sure that you get logged into the website and you kind of explore it a little bit and see the kind of things that you can do. And then the last thing in here that talks about is the Optavia app, which is really great. You can get it from the Apple Store or Google Play, and it has lots of lean and green recipes. There's a place to log weight. There's a place to log water and fuelings if you want to do that. There's also other things that you can do on that website. You can also log in and look at your orders and access the website that way to change your orders if you want to do that. So I use the Optavia app all the time, and it's something I access every single day. So I would definitely say download that app. At the very bottom of the app, you'll see the link where you can click on lean and green, so you can look at a bunch of lean and green recipes and all kinds of things. So explore that app as well. Before I get into what else is in the guide, let me also tell you about 3 other apps that I use also quite often, weekly, some of them daily, most of them daily. First of all, is Happy Scale, so it's just another way to log your weight. Another one is, which your coach will probably tell you about or has told you about, is the Eat Wise app. And that is the one that will send you the reminders that it's time to have another fueling. But when you take that first bite, you hit eat, and it will automatically set the time for your next fueling. Also, I like the Drink Water app. I have it set to, because I want to drink 128 ounces, a gallon of water a day. You can adjust the amounts that it reminds you to suit whatever you want to do, but it is also, it's called Drink Water. It is also a great app to have. Most of you are going to be doing the 5-in-1 plan, and so the guide that you get will be suited towards your plan. If you are doing the 4-in-2 plan, you will get a guide that says optimal weight 4-in-2 plan. This one is 5-in-1 because that's the program that I'm on. It just kind of explains the plan on the first page, And then on the next page, it covers what is a lean and green meal. My next 5-in-1 101 part 3 is going to be a lean and green 101. So I'm going to do a breakdown of how to do a lean and green meal, and I'm going to do it live. And I'm doing it live because I've had so many people say that they have questions, that they're unsure of how to do things, and I want to do it live to give you an opportunity to be able to ask questions. So, but that's the plan, is on Saturday, June the 3rd, 2023 at 10 a.m. Central Time. So it'll be 11 o'clock for you Eastern people. That'll be 9 o'clock for Mountain people, 8 o'clock for Pacific people, and I'm sorry for those of you Pacific people and my friend Cindy who lives in Hawaii, and those of you who live in Alaska, it's gonna be really early for you. You can catch the live. You can pre-send me questions if you want to, comment questions down below if you have lean and green questions that you want answered. But I'm gonna do that next weekend. So our 101 won't post on Friday. Next week, it'll be the Saturday live, and then it'll be posted after the live event. But I want to just do a quick review of what does make a lean and green. First of all, it has 5 to 7 ounces of lean protein. And on page 15 in the new guide, and on page 18 in the old guide. So if your lean page is green, you've got the old guide, but it's fine. It's still the same information. You've got the new guide. It looks like this, and it is on page 15 in the guide, and it will tell you what constitutes a leanest, what constitutes a leaner, and what constitutes a lean. And you also have the healthy fats. The healthy fats are not optional. So if you have a leanest, if you have shrimp, you get 7 ounces of shrimp, and you have to have 2 healthy fats. So that is a requirement if you do that. Also, you get your 3 servings of vegetables. There is a great vegetable conversion chart which lists all of the vegetables that you can have, including the amounts, what the weights are for all of those. And you get to choose 3 servings of green. And then you can also look at the extras that come with the program as well, and extras are optional. The first optional thing is the optional snack. You are allowed to have 1 optional snack a day, not as many snacks as you want, but 1 optional snack a day. And there's been some controversy on social media over what is a healthy snack, and whether or not the popcorn and the puffed snacks that come from Optavia are snacks for the 5-in-1, and they are right here in the guide. If your coach argues with you, go to your guide, show them page 18 in the new guide. Page 18 in the new guide says, in addition to your 5 fuelings in 1 lean and green meal, you may choose 1 of these optional snacks daily. Talk to your coach about plan approved optional snacks, including Optavia puffed snacks or Optavia popcorn. It's the very first thing on the list. 3 celery stalks, 1 fruit flavored sugar-free popsicle. Not a fruit pop, not a fruit juice thing. It is a sugar-free popsicle. A half a cup serving of sugar-free gelatin, such as Jell-O, not pudding, but Jell-O. Up to 3 pieces of sugar-free mints or gum, 2 dill pickle spears, so you don't get an unlimited amount of pickles, and a 1/2 ounce of nuts is another option, which is 10 almonds, 7 walnut halves, or 20 pistachio kernels. Some of the other extras that you can order, they do offer what they call flavors of home, which would be a lean and green meal. It would be a complete lean and green meal. But if you do get the flavors of home, they are your lean and green. They are a complete lean and green, so you don't add anything, no condiments, no healthy fats, no extra greens, nothing. If you buy those particular meals, those can be found in a separate section on the website when you shop, so you can do those. Condiments are another optional thing, and they, according to the book that I'm reading, it says you can enjoy up to 3 condiment servings per lean and green meal. Now, when I read that, That means you don't add them to your fuelings, you add them to a lean and green meal. So there's some more controversy about that. We'll talk about that later. A condiment serving should contain no more than 1 gram of carbs per serving. So if you're not sure if something counts as a condiment, look at the amount of carbs. You can have up to 1 gram of carbs per condiment serving. So if there's 5 grams in there in a serving, you can have 1/5 of a serving. Pages 22 and 23 do have a comprehensive list of all of the condiments. So this is a perfect place. Everything is here. The healthy fats are all starting on page 20. So 20, 21, and 22. Those are all of the healthy fats. It's nice that in the new guide, they put all of those things there. There is a recipe conversion section on there. I will be going over that next week as well for how to determine whether your meal fits in the parameters. And also the dining out guide is another extra. You can get this as a PDF download. You can also buy the little book, and it has restaurants in here and tells you what you can get at those restaurants, both fast food and sit down. And it also in the back has, if you're going to a French restaurant, what you could eat, what you can avoid, Japanese, Chinese, Vietnamese, Thai, American, Mexican, Indian, Italian. So it's all in here, just some ideas of things that you can have and things that you should avoid if you're going to eat out in one of those restaurants. The other thing that I would look at in here is the journal pages. So it will give you places in the book to write down for week 1 everything that you eat and mark off your water. So if you are a journaler and you like to have a place to write things down, there's 5 weeks worth of journal pages in there that you can use to follow along. Use your own journal however you want to, but I would say definitely for the first couple of weeks, and anytime you feel like you're struggling, journaling and writing things down, it's a way to visually hold yourself accountable, is a great thing to have. So definitely encourage you to use the journal pages, especially if that is helpful for you. So the next thing that you need to do is you need to unpack your fueling. So your fuelings are going to come to you in, some of the boxes are going to be big like this with pouches like this that are going to be in there. Others are going to come in boxes like this that are going to have little envelopes. So the shakes come like that. Things that you're going to bake are going to have those pouches in them like this, but they are also going to come with the little paper ramekin. So I like to pull all of those out, take the plastic up and stack those up. And you also will get, bars are going to come in these types of boxes like this. Now what I choose to do, some people have a pantry closet that's got a regular pantry door on it, right? And they take one of those over the door shoe holders that has all the little pouches, and they'll unpack all of their fuelings and they'll put all of their fuelings on the back of the door. I don't have those kinds of doors in my house at all. The only doors that open with door handles go out into the shop or they go outside. So all of my other doors are all glass sliding doors. So I can't use those. So instead what I have are some plastic bins, and I got these on Amazon, but I would also say the Home Edit at Walmart has great plastic bins. I like the clear ones because I can see exactly what's in here, and what I'll do is I'll put some facing this direction and then a different kind facing this direction so I can kind of see what is what. And I have divided my fuelings. I have my bars in 2 of these. So I put all of my breakfasty ones in one, and then my more dessert chocolatey ones in another one. And those stack up really nicely on top of each other. And then this is my dessert box. So it has pudding, brownie, cookie, cake stuff in it. Then I have a shake box that has all shakes. I have a box that has all of my breakfast kind of things, like pancakes, oatmeal, biscuits. And then I have a lunch box that has the soup, the potatoes, the penne, the chili, that goes in another one. So that way, it just makes it so much easier for me to find what I need. But you need to find, I would look at a couple of different ways that people organize their fuelings on social media, see the ideas that they have, find what's gonna work best for you, get your fuelings organized as your next step. If you have followed me at all on social media or on my YouTube channel, you know how much of a planner I am. And I cannot tell you how much I attribute my success on Optavia to the fact that I plan. And I just can't stress enough how important it is to have a plan. If you don't plan for a whole month, that's totally fine. At least plan a week, right? So the way when I order my fuelings, I want to make sure that I have enough shakes to get through, enough bars to get through, enough breakfast things to get through. Like, I don't want to be stuck at the end of the month with a day where I have to drink all shakes because I did not prepare, and that's all I'm left with. And I think if I were to just pull what I wanted each day from my stash and not plan ahead, then I'm going to end up at the end of the week or the end of the month with all bars, and that is not good for my digestive system. So I want to make sure I plan. So this is just an example of what a monthly plan looks like. I have this blank form, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 L&G in each box, and I write down what I'm gonna have, and that way I know I can count up how many bars did I put down here, how many pancakes, how many oatmeals, how many soups, how many shakes, and how many chocolate shakes, how many vanilla shakes. I can count that all up and make sure that I have that in my order so that I'm not over ordering or under ordering. It takes me literally, and now that I've done this quite a bit, I follow a very similar schedule all the time. My first fueling is almost always a bar. My fourth fueling is always a shake. My last fueling is always a brownie or a cookie of some sort. So I kind of have a pattern. I found the fuelings that work really well for me. So it makes it a lot easier for me to order. But then I can create my weekly list, and I show this on social media all the time. This is my current week, the week that I'm going into, week 49. And what I do is I take my monthly plan and I copy Monday through Sunday what I wrote on here for my fuelings, and then I decide what am I going to do for my lean ingredients. So I pick out recipes. I'll talk about that in just a second, but I pick out those recipes and I write them down on there. And at the beginning of the week, then I have 7 Ziploc bags, 1 for each day. I pull out my bins, I pull out my weekly chart, and in my Monday bag, I put the fuelings that are listed for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, all the way through the week. These all sit in a basket. So in the morning, I just pull out the bag and I know what fuelings I'm having for the day. Now I am flexible, so I may change my mind and decide that I want to swap something out, or I'd rather have this than that, right? And I do have a surplus of fuelings because I will order an extra box here and there so that I have some extra choices. And every couple of months I do an inventory where I count up what I have left over before I do my box to make sure that if I have, like right now I have like 30 some brownies. So I could have a brownie every day for a whole month. I don't need to order brownies next month because I have more brownies than I actually need. So it does help me to just keep track and make sure that I don't overbuy something that I don't need. Once I write down all of my fuelings, then I've got to decide on my lean ingredients. So think about how, especially for your first couple of weeks, how do you normally do dinner? Do you work at home? Are you at home and not working and you cook meals every night? Do you work outside the home and you get home and you have to eat really quickly because you've got to get kids to soccer? Or, what type of a meal person are you? Is it easier for you to pre-cook your meals, have those all meal prepped and ready to go? Do you want to pull stuff from the freezer? Do you want to take your meals with you to work and have your lean and green at lunchtime? So you just have to decide what is going to work best for you. Then I would say just choose 3 meals, 4 meals, especially for the first couple of days, that you can make a couple of servings of and have leftovers. So you can cook once on Monday and have that also on Tuesday and Wednesday, or you can cook a couple of meals on Sunday and then just eat from those for the rest of the week. Decide what works best for you. Some really super easy things to do is buy pre-cooked shrimp. 7 ounces equals a serving, so a whole pound of shrimp is going to give you just a little over 2 servings, so kind of keep that in mind, a 1 pound bag of shrimp. Buy some chicken breasts and put them on a sheet pan. Throw them in the oven at 425 for 20 to 30 minutes. Let them cool off, and then divide them into 6-ounce portions. That's a serving of lean, and we'll need a healthy fat. The shrimp is going to need 2 healthy fats. Pre-cook some pork tenderloin and cut that into 6-ounce servings. You could also take some ground turkey and cook that up with some low sodium taco seasoning. A 1/2 teaspoon equals a condiment. So if you've got a whole pound, you're looking at using a teaspoon of taco seasoning. You're probably going to have close to half of that once it's cooked, because a whole pound of turkey, 16 ounces, is going to cook down to about 12 ounces, and therefore 6 ounces is a leaner serving, and you can have 1 condiment with that if you want to do it that way. Get lots of salad greens and do salads with protein on it, or get some frozen vegetables that you can cook quickly, or something like zucchini or summer squash or green beans or asparagus that you can throw on a sheet pan and roast that in the oven. Roasted radishes, check out my video on the chicken salad, because roasted radishes are the bomb. And if you have not tried them and you think you won't like them because you don't like radishes, you need to try them cooked. I'm telling you, it's amazing. Also, if you do salads, get a low-fat salad dressing. In the guide, there is some recommended dressings that will count as healthy fats. So check that out, because that is important. And keep it simple for the first couple of weeks, especially. Once I make my meal plan and I know what recipes I'm going to use, I'm a cook, I work from home, I cook a meal almost every day. I do leftovers twice a week, but that just is what works best for us. Then I take my my weekly list, and I make my grocery list. And I put on my grocery list only the things that I need to make my lean and greens. And if I happen to use, and that includes any condiments, healthy fats, all of my leans, all of my proteins. My husband also drinks milk, uses 50/50. So those are always on my list. And anything else he may need, sometimes he wants tater tots and other things that I will throw on, because I do rice or pasta or potatoes for him for his meals. He will also cook some things for himself. So sometimes you'll see bacon or sausage on there. That's because that's what he's requesting. He does a lot of his own cooking for some things, but he always eats what I'm eating for lean and greens. So I make my grocery list. Please don't just ask people, what do I need to get at X store? Don't buy things you don't need. We cannot afford this, people. Groceries are so expensive, and we need to be good stewards of our money. So just because somebody else likes, Ken's light Italian dressing, and that's, they think that you need to have that, you may not like it. So why buy things that you don't need or you're not going to use? So make your list, buy the things that you need, be a good steward of your funds, because you want to have money to continue on this program. So you're all prepped, ready to go. It's day 1, first thing in the morning, go to the bathroom as much as you can. Do get on the scale. Do measure. I talked about that last time. I measure my waist, my upper arm, my upper thigh, my chest, fullest part of my bust, and it's a big one, and my hips. So I measure all of those things. I have done that since day 1. I measure once a week, and I take pictures, a front picture, a side picture, a back picture, and a close-up of my face. not all coaches are asking for this, but I promise you, you will be so happy that you did this when you get to the end of the first month, the end of the third month, however long it takes you to get to your goal, that you can go back and look at where you started. It may feel, it may be a hard thing to do, and I totally understand that, but it is so worth taking those measurements so that when you get to your goal, you can look back and see how far you've come. So day 1, day 2, you're doing great. You're eating your fuelings on time, you're drinking your water, you're feeling great. Day 3 comes and things start to go a little wonky. You start to have a headache, you're feeling really tired, your tummy doesn't feel so good. Now let me tell you what's happening. Days 1 and 2, your body still has glycogen on day 1 and day 2, and glycogen is your body's favorite food. And so it's totally fine because it's got what it likes to burn. So it burns through the glycogen and it moves on to those free carbs, and those are still pretty good. Like, all right, I'm still fine with that. So day 2 is usually still a pretty good day. By the time you get to day 3 and day 4, your body has burned through those things, and now it's going, hey, wait a minute. Where's my favorite food? Where is all of that glycogen that you used to give me with those potato chips and those bagels and the ice cream and the burgers? And like, where is all of that I love to eat? And you get a headache. Your tummy doesn't feel so good, and you might feel a little bit sluggish. That is so normal. So you got a headache. Make sure that you're drinking at least 64 ounces of water. Up that water if you need to. You can have some Powerade Zero, like 12 ounces of Powerade Zero. I would say maybe do half of that in some water and just kind of do that during the day, just to help give yourself a little bit of electrolytes. A shot of pickle juice is a good thing, or having that optional snack as pickle spears can sometimes help as well. If you've got some bowel issues, some people get a little stopped up, and so Miralax or Smooth Move tea or Calm, those are the things that I have heard. I don't have that problem, but if you do, those are some options that you can do. If you have the opposite problem and you have looser bowels, first of all, you are probably giving your body more roughage with vegetables than you were before, and you're also not eating any binding foods that you might have been eating before. So you do need to just give your body time to adjust. It will adjust. You are eating healthy foods, so your body will adjust, but you do need to give yourself time to adjust to that. And then I would really encourage you to journal. We talked about the journal pages in the guide, writing down when you eat, what you eat, how you're feeling, how is your body responding. At the end of the day, write down how you felt. Look back, as if you were having bowel issues and you were eating 3 bars, that might be the reason why you had a lot of gas. Because bars can make, with all the sugar alcohols that are in them, bars can make people gassy. So if you are writing things down, that's another great reason to journal, is so that you have a log of what you've done, how often you ate, how much water you drank, what type of fuelings you had, what you had for lean and greens, when you had those things, so that you can work with your coach to help try to resolve some of the issues that you might be having over those first few days. But it is going to take some time for your body to adjust. The first couple of weeks can be the roughest, but once you get through that, it is typically smooth sailing. I didn't talk a lot about fuelings. I will talk about fueling prep in another 101 in a couple of weeks, but what I will say is, for the first 2 weeks, please do not hack your fuelings at all. Follow the package directions. Don't pay attention to what they're saying on those Facebook groups. Just look at the package, add the water, either bake or microwave if it's a baked fueling, or cook it on the stove if it's a soup or whatever. You can also do those in the microwave. But don't add anything to your fuelings. Don't feel the need to waffle everything. Just don't do that. For the first 2 weeks, allow your body time to adjust. You will not like some of the fuelings, most likely, but I want you to keep something in mind. The food that you ate before got you to where you are now, and you can't eat those things. And your body needs time to adjust to the flavors. I know at first I felt like everything needed salt. That was the thing that was missing the most for me because I'm a salty girl. But I've adjusted, and it's amazing how I can eat the chicken noodle soup, which I thought was so bland that first week, and now I like it because it tastes perfect to me because my body has gotten used to not having the level of sodium that I was having in my fuelings before. So please don't hack your fuelings. For the first 2 weeks, at least, don't hack your fuelings. Just follow the package directions. All right, I can't stress that enough. Yes, I've got tons of fun with fueling videos. They do only use water, but it will be better for you to just follow the package directions for the first couple of weeks. Mourn the loss of those foods that you are not eating, but let me tell you, like I just said, they were not kind to you. And there's no reason why we should be friends with somebody who was not kind to us. I love ice cream, but ice cream was not kind to me. I love bread and bagels, but bread and bagels were not kind to me. They are the culprits that led to my weight gain. I have to mourn the loss of those foods and realize that they were toxic relationships. They were not my friends. Finally, please lean on your coach and on your community that you are building. Your coach is there to support you, to love on you, to encourage you. Please don't ever think that if you ask a question, it is a stupid question or a silly question. If you don't know, you don't know. And you can't learn and grow if you don't ask the question. So lean on your coach, trust your coach, trust the science of this program. I promise you, it works. I am living proof that if you follow this program, if you trust the science of this program, if you lean on your coach, you will be successful. You have made an amazing choice for your health, and I want to congratulate you on that. The first couple of weeks, as I said, may be tough, but you've got a community of people who want to encourage you and support you, so ask questions, and in turn, give back to others and encourage others when they post questions, because you will have then experienced things that you can support others with. So let's be an encouraging community, a supportive community. Let's leave the negativity behind. Let's not talk about the things that we don't like, and let's help people figure out how to move forward in optimal health in their lives to be the best that they can be. I will see you guys in another video, but next week we will do the live on how to do a lean and green. So until I see you next time, please live in the light.